What's up, guys? So, I kind of want to talk about uh, Doom: The Dark Ages. I've not made a YouTube video like this before. Usually, it's just taking the clip of something on my Xbox or on my PC and like uploading it. That's a text message. And I just upload it to my YouTube channel. I think I streamed on YouTube for a little bit or whatever. There's probably gonna be some spoilers and stuff in here, so I should have probably said that at the beginning, but whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of play through a level here, and like I said, there's probably gonna be spoilers, so I'm just gonna play through a level, and then I'm going to just talk about the game while I play through a level. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but when I'm done, I'll just end the video. So I don't have a planned time. So here's my thing. With Doom Dark Ages, it's getting a lot of hate, to be completely honest with you. And I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I think the game's pretty sick. There's a lot I like about this game. There's a lot I like about Doom 2016, and there's a lot I like about Doom Eternal. I think they're all different. They all have their pros and cons. I don't personally think... I don't think one's better than the other. I think it's all which one do you like for different reasons more than the other ones. I like them all, but I will say, for example, like Doom 2016, that one to me is dope because it's like a return to form for Doom after Doom 3, which that's a whole different topic. I think Doom 3 is absolutely fantastic, and the hate that game gets is absolutely insane. But like Doom Eternal, I think the combat in Doom Eternal is sick. And I think a lot of that game is sick, actually. I think the movement in that game is sick. I think the combat in that game is sick. But I also think the same thing for Doom: The Dark Ages. I just think the combat's it's different. You know, it's not all zoomy. It's not like a crazy like Twitch shooter or whatever. It doesn't have incredible, crazy, fast-paced movement. But to say Doom: The Dark Ages is like a slow-paced game is kind of insane to me. Like, I don't know what people are playing if they're saying it's slow-paced. If it's not as fast as you would like, that's something different than it being slow-paced. Two things can be true at the same time. It can be not as fast as you like, and it can still be a fast-paced game. I think this game has a lot of speed to it. It also has the menus. You can completely customize this game and play it however you'd like to play it. So yeah, some of these things I don't get. Like I do get people like if they're mad about like the physical edition and all that stuff. The ray tracing stuff, I don't understand people mad about like ray tracing. That's kind of weird to me because almost everybody has a ray tracing card at this point. I think you only need like the 20 series cards or some shit. You know, so that's some of the stuff people are complaining about, and I just don't get it. Look, if you don't like the game, like I do understand that, like it is different, and maybe you don't like what's different about it, but I think there's some people that are like kind of hating on the game for, I don't know, just reasons I find to be slightly ridiculous. Not that at the end of the day, do whatever you want. You know, I'm just kind of want to talk about Doom at this point. But like things I like about this game, dude. Like I think this game is so sick because I think throughout the other two games, like we didn't get the story presented in this way. And like I know Hugo Martin's even said in like interviews that this is like a summer blockbuster. And it 1000% feels like a summer blockbuster. I think... Oh shit, where'd this big guy come from? I think that the way the cinematics are incredible. Like we've never gotten cinematics like this in a Doom game. The story feels bigger. It feels more expansive. It gets me more interested in the lore of Doom. These big combat areas, like this map is huge. And I get people might not like that. This map is huge. Like, these combat areas are pretty sick, man. I mean, there's a lot to run around and explore and find. You know, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I think, you know, as far as the Atlan stuff goes and the dragon stuff goes, I think those things are, I understand where people are coming from if they kind of don't dig those as much. Like, I get, like, if you're somebody that thinks that, oh, that doesn't work, I gotta jump up there. If, like, they're kind of boring a little bit, like, I do understand that. But I also think that they're actually kind of fun. I actually think I like the Atlan stuff more than I actually like the flying stuff. The flying stuff is kind of funny because it does, in a way, kind of feel like, you know, you're playing like Spyro or something. It kind of reminds me of playing like the Spyro the Dragon levels where you fly through the little objective circles. But I do feel like they break up the game a little bit, you know? And I feel like they, you know, I don't know. I feel like they break up the game and they just give you something you've never gotten in Doom before. And I think that's awesome. Because if I was playing Doom Eternal every single outing, every time a Doom game came out, if it was just Doom Eternal, I mean, that may get slightly boring after a while. I think it's good for franchises to change things up every now and then. And, you know, it's been 5 years since we've had a Doom game, so I don't see any issues with it. I like it. I don't mind it. I also think that like, I think these weapons are pretty sick. I will say I totally get, like, in Doom Eternal you had like the whole, you know, you would use like the sniper to like shoot off the arachnid dude's like what's it called, like turret off his arm, and then you would use, you know, certain weapons on certain enemies to destroy certain parts of them so that way they couldn't attack you and stuff like that. Like, I get all that stuff. Like, that's definitely something this game's not like, but it has those elements, but it not with the weapons per se. It has those elements with like the shields, and like the shield and the melee stuff, and like the parry mechanics that the shield gives you. It still has some of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think overall this game's great, man. I think the story's great. I think the cutscenes are great. I think the environments and I think the graphics overall are just amazing. But I think like the environments it puts you in, I think, like I said earlier, spoilers, but like the cosmic realm parts of this game are some of the best parts of, I mean, any Doom. I'm just gonna say any Doom game. Like, definitely the current iteration of id that we've had the last 3 games, but I think even anything that happened in the 90s or in Doom 3, like the stuff they do in the cosmic realm is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I can't say enough positive things about that, and I hope, like a lot of other people, I hope we get like a DLC, and I hope that DLC is in the cosmic realm more. But is that guy dead already? No, but we'll see. I don't know. The parrying, I think the parrying's super fun. I get it, like on a lower difficulty, you might kind of run through the game and be like, oh, this is super, super easy, you know? But like, when you crank up the difficulty and you're playing on either, what is it called? Nightmare, I think? I can't remember. Nightmare, like Pandemonium or something, or like Ultra Nightmare. If you're playing on one of those, it's hard. Like, unless you're, you know, a god or something at this game. But yeah, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of, I think a lot of this game is good. It's probably my favorite one so far. Even though I love all 3 of them, I think they're all amazing. But like, this is the one I vibe with the most. I like the more straightforward aspects. It's more like Doom 2016 than it is like Eternal. That's obvious. It's more like old school Doom than it is like Eternal. Eternal was kind of like a weird, like, they really went all out on Eternal, and did some crazy stuff with the combat and the movement. You know, because you have like the grapple hook on the super shotgun in Doom Eternal, so that added like a lot of movement. There's a lot of like, I don't even know, maybe you can do stuff like that in this game, but like in Doom Eternal, there was a lot of like weapon tricks or glitches. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't even remember what the gun was called, but there were some things you could do in Doom Eternal that, you know, added to the movement. And as far as I know, I don't even know if this game has stuff like that. So, but you know, I think you mess around with like the difficulty settings and stuff, and I think there's a lot of options in there that give you a lot of freedom to kind of customize the game how you want. You know, slow down projectiles, speed up projectiles, slow down the movement speed, speed up the movement speed, however you want to go about it. I think that's really cool. You can kind of personalize your experience. And I don't know, I'm trying to think, is there anything I'm kind of forgetting here? You know, the parry stuff, like, you know, wrong button. I think you go in here and you look at, like, you know, all these different abilities you have, all these different things you can do with your shield. You know, yeah, like, this game is based around, like, the melee and the shield. Like, that's what this game's all about. And I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of sweet, man. Because, like, this dude's just going around beating the crap out of people and, you know, punching them and blowing their attacks back at them. And I think that's pretty sick, you know. You have different abilities that do different things, that, like, things that you could do in Eternal, now they're relegated to, like, your shield parries, and they're relegated to, like, your melee stuff, you know, with the different weapons and stuff, or melee weapons, I should say. So, you know, now it's like with the guns, now it's just kind of like run through, use any gun you want, and you don't have to worry about like switching guns 70 times and, you know, doing weapon combos and stuff like that. And like I said, if you like that stuff, then that's cool, but I don't think that's a knock on the game. I think that's just a personal preference issue. And I think I don't know. I personally just think, like, giving the game, like, a bad review or, like, kind of trashing the game because of things that you personally don't like is kind of weird to me. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of games I don't like, but I get that they're good games. They're awesome games. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe this video's absolutely stupid and I'll never do it again. Or maybe it's kind of decent and I try it again and I get better at it and I hook up my camera. And we'll see though. We'll see though. I'm not sure. I just kind of want to talk about Doom. I think the game's great. I don't really understand. Some people just wanted like Doom Eternal again, like Doom Eternal 2. Like, I don't know. I'd rather have this. Like I said, the story. I think these weapons are cool. I think these environments are cool. I think the time period's cool. I think the shield and shit is sweet. I think the shield's sweet. I actually think the melee stuff is cool. Now, I'll be honest, I don't like all the melee stuff. But when you get this big-ass club, I mean, this thing is sick to me. So, yeah. And I'm dead. And that's the end of this video. Alright, thanks. Bye. Dude, did I just hang up the phone with somebody? Why did I say it like that? Damn.